Great. So back to the Learner Impact Report and more findings. Also, shout out to Bruno. This is his first webinar and I think he's smashing it. So first of all, a big thing to us at Genio is learner confidence. And today's learners are navigating way more than lectures, as you all know. They're managing competing demands, real life responsibilities, and in many cases, doing it without the support systems that they need. As a result, the confidence in their abilities can slip. The good news is, looking at 2026's data, the impact that Genio Notes is having to rectify this is clear. 82% of students surveyed feel more confident when taking notes with Genio Notes, and that's pretty awesome. For students picking up Genio Notes for the first time, the confidence builds meaningfully over the course of a semester. So new users in particular reported a 12% improvement in their confidence to study effectively from fall to spring. So that's not a marginal shift, rather a longitudinal improvement demonstrating a real difference, which we love to see. And then specifically looking at students with disabilities or mental health conditions, for these students, the value is deeply personal. We have the next slide, please, Anisha. Thank you. The dominant themes in their responses are confidence and anxiety. So it's looking at reducing these. These students told us that simply knowing a recording exists changes how they experience a lecture and education. They can focus on listening and understanding instead of panicking about missing something. And for this group, Genio Notes functions less like a productivity tool and more like an accessibility aid, which is how it was built, something that levels that playing field. I also wanted to touch on at-risk students, so those with GPAs between 0 and 2. So for these students, Genio Notes is less about getting better grades and more about making that overwhelming task of studying feel manageable. The tool's primary value here is emotional. It's a safety net that helps them to keep going. And we all know the world is difficult at times at the moment. And then I just wanted to highlight one of my favorite quotes from the report. I genuinely feel like I'm learning at a rate equal to my peers, even while struggling with my health. And honestly, for us, I think with our roots in accessibility, that is what it's all about. So next we'll take a look at learner stress. So we all know that stress shows up in grades, in persistence, and in well-being, and at work. It's a problem that can't be ignored. By the end of the semester, students using Genio Notes self-reported stress scores had dropped by 12% on average compared to where they started, with 73.1% of students finding studying less stressful with Genio Notes. Some of the most meaningful stress reductions actually belong to students carrying the heaviest loads outside of class. For example, working students saw stress drop by 20% over the semester, closely followed by ESL students at 18.2% and parent students at 14.3%. But the overall message here is improved well-being, taking the stress out of studying. Caveat that with as much as possible because there's always going to be some stress with studying.